Picture this: a quiet house on a sleepy street in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Inside, a 17-year-old boy moves through his daily routine, eating breakfast, scrolling his phone, maybe feeding the family dog. But something's wrong, horribly wrong. In the next room, his mother and stepfather lie dead, their bodies stiffening, their blood pooling on the floor. For nearly 2 weeks he stayed there, living among the corpses he's accused of creating. Then, one day, he grabbed a gun, a stack of cash, and the keys to a stolen car, and vanished into the night. This isn't fiction. This is the twisted tale of Nikita Kasap, a teen who went from honor roll to hunted killer. Welcome to True Crimes and Affairs, where we peel back the shadows of true crime. Buckle up. This one's a descent into darkness. It all began on February 11th, 2025, in a modest home on Cider Hills Drive, a stone's throw from Milwaukee. Tatiana Kasap, 35, and her husband, Don Mayer, 51, were living their suburban lives with Tatiana's son, Nikita. That day, the air in that house turned heavy with death. Prosecutors say Nikita, just 17, picked up his stepfather's Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum, a gun Don had bought for protection, and turned it on his own family. Don was first, they believe. A single shot tore through the back of his head, dropping him where he stood in the home office. Blood seeped into the carpet as silence fell. Then came Tatiana. She took 3 bullets, 2 ripping into her stomach, the third delivered at close range to her neck, a kill shot that left no chance of survival. The walls of that house held the secret of a double murder, but no one would know for weeks. Nikita wasn't your typical troubled teen. Born in Moldova, he'd come to the U.S. with his mom a decade earlier, building a life in Waukesha. At Waukesha West High School, he was a standout. Perfect attendance, sharp mind, named Student of the Month in December 2022. Teachers gushed about him. "Nick's work ethic is unmatched," one said. "He's polite, driven, a team player." Neighbors saw a quiet kid, maybe a little reserved, but nothing to raise alarm. Yet beneath that polished surface, something festered. What pushed a golden boy to this edge? Was it rage, revenge, or a plan so cold it chills the bone? For 12 days, Nikita stayed in that house of horrors. Imagine it. The stench of decay creeping through the rooms. The bodies of Don and Tatiana, hidden under blankets and clothes, their faces blackening as time ticked on. He didn't run. He didn't confess. Instead, he lived there, eating, sleeping, maybe staring at the covered shapes that used to be his family. And he covered his tracks. On February 18th, Don's sister got a text from his phone. "I've been sick, taking a break from social media." On February 23rd, another message to family and Don's boss. "Still unwell? Can't talk." The words were off, stilted, not Don's style. Because Don was already dead. Had been for days. Was Nikita typing those lies, his fingers trembling over the keys? Or was he calm, calculated, buying himself time? The cracks started showing. Nikita stopped going to school on February 12th, a red flag for a kid who never missed a day. Teachers whispered concerns. Neighbors noticed the family's little black dog hadn't been seen. On February 23rd, someone spotted Nikita driving Don's 2018 Volkswagen Atlas alone, a car he had no license for. Then, he was gone. With $14,000 in cash, his parents' driver's licenses, and that .357 Magnum, he hit the road, the family dog riding shotgun. Cell phone pings traced his path. Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado. A 900-mile escape weaving through the heart of America. Where was he going? What was he running from, or toward? The truth crashed down on February 28th. Don's mother, Judith, Hadn't heard from her son in weeks. Those odd texts gnawed at her. From her home in Massachusetts, she called Waukesha police, begging for a welfare check. Deputies arrived at Cider Hills Drive around 9:44 a.m. and stepped into a scene straight out of a nightmare. Tatiana's body lay in the hallway, draped in blankets, her face blackened from decomposition, dried blood crusting the floor. In the office, Don was slumped, a pile of clothes over him, a gaping wound in his skull. The air was thick, the silence deafening. But Nikita, he was nowhere to be found. Police scrambled. School resource officers had already flagged his absence. Cell data pointed to Cheyenne, Wyoming, then beyond. That same night, at 11:25 p.m., a cop in Waukene, Kansas, pulled over the Atlas for running a stop sign. There he was, Nikita Kasap, 17, calm behind the wheel. The dog sat quietly. On the passenger floorboard, in plain sight, gleamed the .357 Magnum. A search turned up the cache, the IDs, spent shell casings, clues screaming guilt. He was cuffed, the dog taken away, and the long road back to Wisconsin began. March 12, 2025. Nikita shuffled into a Waukesha courtroom, shackled, a protective vest hugging his frame, a precaution against self-harm. His face was blank, unreadable. The charges then were light: operating a vehicle without consent, theft of a gun. His lawyer, Nicole Ostrowski, fought hard. "There's no proof he didn't have permission," she argued. Don can't say otherwise. He's dead. The prosecution countered with a gut punch. A dead person can't consent. They laid it out. Nikita shot Don in the head, Tatiana 3 times, then lived with their bodies until February 23rd. He fled with cash, fake plates in mind, talking to someone in Russian or Romanian via an app, FBI now digging into it. Bail? $250,000. The judge wasn't budging. Murder charges were coming, they promised. First-degree intentional homicide, 2 counts, plus hiding corpses, theft, identity misuse. The gavel fell. He wasn't going anywhere. But the story twists deeper. A classmate, Witness A, told cops Nikita had bragged about planning to kill his parents, and maybe even the president, weeks before. He'd torn the house apart, hunting cash and jewelry, pocketing $14,000 of each. A memory card from the home held a video. Nikita, a week after the murders, filming Don's rotting corpse, candles flickering, his voice chilling. "You can see him there. I can literally see the fixing rotting body." Was he taunting, reliving, or just numb? Why? That's the shadow hanging over this case. Abuse? Mental collapse? A plot tied to those foreign messages. Ukraine, Russia, a conspiracy to overthrow the U.S. He's from Moldova, ties thin in Wisconsin, family in Massachusetts uninterested. With $14,000, Bitcoin transactions, and his parents' IDs, was he aiming to vanish abroad? The FBI is still translating, chasing leads. On March 27th, the hammer dropped. 9 felony counts, bail jacked to $1 million. He's a flight risk, they said, caught plotting with a Russian contact to flee. April 9th, 2025, looms. His next hearing. Will he plead? Crack under the weight? Or stay silent? A 17-year-old enigma wrapped in blood and mystery. The house on Cider Hills Drive stands empty now, a tomb of secrets. What drove Nikita Kasap to this abyss? The answer's out there, buried in those texts, that video, his cold stare. This is a case that claws at your mind, refusing to let go. A kid who seemed to have it all, a straight-A student with a bright future, turned into a cold-blooded executioner in the blink of an eye. For nearly 2 weeks, he lived with death as his silent roommates, their bodies rotting under blankets while he ate, slept, and planned his next move. Was it a moment of madness that shattered his world, or a calculated descent into darkness that had been brewing for years? The house on Cider Hills Drive stands as a mute witness, its walls stained with secrets we may never fully unravel. Will justice catch Nikita Kasap in its grip, pinning him down for the lives he's accused of snuffing out? Or will he slip through the cracks, a phantom vanishing into the shadows with $14,000 and a web of cryptic messages? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain, this story's far from over. Stay with us as we follow every chilling twist in Nikita Kasap's dark, twisted road. If you're hooked on peeling back the layers of cases like this, where the line between normalcy and nightmare blurs, hit that subscribe button right now. Join our growing crew of truth seekers, and don't miss a single update as this saga unfolds. Next time, we're diving headfirst into another abyss, another tale that'll keep you up at night. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay safe out there.